We've been waiting a long time, almost 6 months since we first saw evidence of the parties in Downing Street. And today we got the news that Sue Gray's full report, pictures and all, has finally been published. He was sent it this morning, and it's clear there were failures of leadership in Number 10. Sue Gray's report detailed specific examples, including one on the 18th of June 2020 in the Cabinet Office for the departure of a Number 10 official, where, to quote, there was excessive alcohol consumption by some individuals. Later that year, on the 15th of December, during an online Christmas quiz, a message was sent on the internal Number 10 systems referring to drunkenness and advising staff to leave. And a few days later, ahead of Christmas, members of staff at Number 10 were invited to a gift exchange and cheese and lots of wine. The report also included 9 images, some of Boris Johnson's birthday party that both he and the Chancellor Rishi Sunak were fined for. It was also attended by the head of the Civil Service, Simon Case, pictured here laughing as the Prime Minister raises a can of beer. And these pictures of this leaving do for a member of his staff, which we exclusively revealed here on ITV News on Monday. Sue Gray concluded that some gatherings in question represent a serious failure, with examples of a lack of respect and poor treatment of security and cleaning staff, and that the senior leadership at the centre, both political and official, must bear responsibility for this culture. It is a story that's been rumbling on for months, starting with jokes about the parties.
His fictional party was a business meeting. And it was not socially distanced.
Then to emails telling staff to bring their own booze to the garden. But today in the House of Commons, Boris Johnson struck a sombre tone, but claimed he too was surprised by what he had learned.
I take full responsibility for everything that took place on my watch. Sue Gray's report has emphasised that it is up to the political leadership in Number 10 to take ultimate responsibility, and of course I do. I have been appalled by some of the behaviour, particularly in the treatment of the security and the cleaning staff. And I would like to apologise to those members of staff.
He also denied suggestions he knowingly misled Parliament and corrected previous statements.
And I want to conclude by saying that Mr. Speaker, I am humbled and I have learned a lesson, Mr. Speaker.
The Labour leader responded, saying the Prime Minister needed to go.
That report lays bare the rot that under this Prime Minister has spread in Number 10. And it provides definitive proof of how those within the building treated the sacrifices of the British people with utter contempt. Members opposite must finally do their bit. They must tell the current inhabitant, their leader, that this has gone on too long. The game is up. You cannot be a lawmaker and a lawbreaker.
And some on the government's own backbenchers were concerned about the impact of this on their party.
If we cannot work out what we're going to do, then the broad church of the Conservative Party will lose the next general election. But my question to the Prime Minister is very clear on the question of leadership. Can he think of any other Prime Minister who would have allowed such a culture of indiscipline to take place under their watch? And if it did, would they not have resigned?
The Prime Minister's authority has been questioned time and time again throughout the course of this crisis. He's been found to have broken the law. This report says there were failures of leadership, and he will now have to face an investigation over whether he misled Parliament. His future and whether he stays in Number 10 remains in the hands of his own MPs. Shihab Khan, ITV News, Westminster.